my little town.
Santa Clarita Valley, welcome back to the City of Santa Clarita Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Perry Smith, and I'm in here in the studio with Rick Gould, the Director of Arts and Recreation for the city, and Phil Lantis, who is the Arts and Events Administrator for the city. The two men that are, basically help bring the city the USA Open Water National Championships, which is happening the third week of May, Cinco de Mayo, events like this. And also, we're talking about the Cowboy Festival and the AMGEN Tour, which are more immediate events. Cowboy Festival obviously happening this weekend. We've been talking about that a little bit. And there are some traffic concerns that we want to cover for both events if people are thinking about coming out there. Rick, can you tell me a little bit about what people should know if they're going to be on the roads for those events?
I don't think you have to worry too much about the Cowboy Festival. I mean, Railroad Avenue, once you turn onto 13th and get into the parking lot, everything should be pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I think we're more concerned at this point about the Tour of California because the race is a bike race and it's an international bike race. It does require full road closures.
Okay.
So we have to have traffic other than emergency vehicles. All traffic has to be off the racing lanes for the race. The race is going to start in Palmdale that morning. They're going to come over the tops of the hills and down into Santa Clarita, and they'll actually come into town twice. They're going to come into town around 1 o'clock from San Francisco Canyon Road and touch on Copper Hill. They'll touch the northern or northwestern edge of the city and then head back out toward Castaic and go back up into the mountains. So around 1 o'clock on Copper Hill, there's going to be a traffic impact. It'll only be one half of the roadway. It won't be the northbound. It'll be the southbound or westbound portions of Copper Hill that'll close for about 20 minutes to a half an hour, depending on what's going on. The best way to think about this is a presidential motorcade. Okay. You've got cops in the front, you got the cyclists in the middle, and you're going to have police and CHPs and broom wagons in the back, and it's a moving road show. And so intersections will close in front, cyclists will come through, intersections will open afterwards. And so that impact will be relatively short. They'll then go up into the mountains. They'll come back down, and they're going to come down Bouquet Canyon Road. And that's where the significant impact is. And really what we spent a lot of time trying to figure out what was the best way. There were other ways to come into town. The period of time would have been longer, and we felt the impacts would be longer. This seems to be the fastest way to get them in, and the fastest way to get them finished, and the fastest way to get the roads closed.
And you were saying, I'm sorry, the major impact would be around 1 o'clock? Or that would be
for the first time they hit the city, around 1 o'clock. The second time when they come into town is they head to the finish at Westfield Town Center, Valencia Town Center, will be, we think, our best guess right now is between about 3:15 and 3:45.
Okay.
It's on live national TV. Their goal is to finish the race about 3:45.
Gotcha.
for TV purposes. So they're very good at this. Trust me, they can tell you, this set of bicyclists are probably going to pass this intersection at 2:21 in the afternoon. They've got this down to a science. And so our best guess is coming down Bouquet Canyon Road, roads will begin to close around 3:15 at the city limits. They'll come down Bouquet on southbound Bouquet and cruise right past Trader Joe's, Best Buy, Orchard Supply, Lowe's, go through the Newhall Ranch Road intersection, turn right on Valencia Boulevard, go past the Mercedes dealership, the BMW dealership, and then turn right on Magic Mountain, go past the Sheriff's Station and the library, eventually finishing on Magic Mountain Parkway in the general vicinity of the Paseo Bridge that spans. There's a car dealership on the north side, I think it's Infiniti and Volkswagen, and then Westfield Town Center on the other side.
And they expect the last of these cyclists to come through at 3:45, you were saying?
That's what we expect.
All right,
now, things can change. If you have an accident on a road, there's a pileup of bicyclists, you can be delayed 10 minutes. But we think we'll see road closures 10 to 15 minutes ahead. Cyclists come through, and they're going 25 to 30 miles an hour. So they go, it's a presidential motorcade. They're past you pretty quick.
Right.
Roads start to open. So we're already working with the schools. Schools are going to minimum days in some cases, or early release.
Okay.
We're talking to all the residents. But what we really encourage you to do if you want to see the race, come to the Lifestyle Festival that starts at noon at Westfield Town Center. Spend a few hours, learn about cycling, watch the finish, and then go home. If you don't want to do that, we'd recommend that you stay away from Bouquet Canyon Road between 3 and 4 o'clock on Tuesday, May 14th.
Right.
Northbound Bouquet will be open, but it will be slow and difficult.
And so the impacts aren't expected to be as significant on the the 14th is, I'm sorry, that's the end of the
That's the end of the third stage.
So the start of the fourth stage, is the impact going to be
much less? Much
okay.
less. They'll leave going up northbound on McBean Parkway, turn left on Newhall Ranch Road, and go out of town. They stay in parade, which means they stay in a tight group. they'll be gone very quickly.
Awesome, awesome. And we have about a minute left, and I just wanted to talk to you guys. One of your colleagues who's also hosts the Friday Matinee show here is stepping down, Paul Strickland, an arts commissioner with the city, and also a longtime Art District board member. Talk to me about what's happening there. You guys just basically, we just put out the word yesterday.
Right.
So what are we doing?
We're really sad to see Paul go. I mean, he's been a fabulous commissioner for us. He's a founding member of the Arts Commission and really helped create what has started to lead beginnings of a very vibrant arts community here. And it's sad to see him go, but he's going on to do more in the arts. So how can you say that's not a good thing? And we're thrilled for him and his family. We'll go through our typical bureaucratic process. I hate to call it a bureaucratic process, but the city council will declare a vacancy, and they'll come up with a process to accept new people who might be interested, and eventually nominate and appoint a replacement. It'll probably take a couple of months, but
okay. So you're going to be interviewing candidates, and is now the process if people are starting to think about it?
If they're interested, they probably can contact either Phil or myself or the city, and we'll fill them in on the process.
And more information will be able to be found at hometownstation.com. We'll be covering stories about it and writing about it. And if people want information about the city, they can go to santa-clarita.com. This has been the City of Santa Clarita Spotlight Hour with Rick Gould and Phil Lantis. Thank you for coming by, guys. I appreciate your time, and thank you for listening.